Good evening, viewers. You're welcome back again on the program, Biafra Discourse. I am Asuchinadu Peters, your host. We're going to be looking at the 63-year anniversary of Nigeria, and we call it a failed experiment. We're going to have this very discussion, but first, let us appreciate one of us as he celebrates his birthday. He celebrated his birthday on 1st of October 2023. So, yes, I want to actually bring it forward so that you know whom I'm talking about. I'm talking about Ndubisi Enugu, who is also going to be the guest of the program. He's a diehard Biafran from the core, a village economist, my right-hand man, and the man who had been a backbone to what we are doing on this platform. So we appreciate him, and we say more life. But as he celebrates, just like I mentioned earlier, BVI Channel 1 kicked off officially in October actually, and myself also betted in October. But nevertheless, we are going to quickly review the 63 years failed experiment of the country called Nigeria. And the first thing I'm going to bring to you is the Tinubu's independence speech, which he categorized that Nigerian foundation was built on a mud by the same people whom have enjoyed the best of Nigeria, as it were. So let us take 2 minutes to listen to what he has to say, a refresher, because I already published it earlier on. I'll be right back.
At my inauguration, I made important promises about how I would govern this nation. Among those promises were pledges to reshape and modernize our economy and to secure the lives, liberty, and property of the people. I said that bold reforms were necessary to place our nation on the path of prosperity and growth. On that occasion, I announced the end of the fuel subsidy. I am attuned to the hardship that have come. I have a heart that feels and eyes that see. I wish to explain to you why we must endure this trying moment. Those who sought to perpetuate the fuel subsidy and broken foreign exchange policies are people who will build their family mansion in the middle of a swamp. I am different. I'm not a man to erect our national home on a foundation of mud. To must be constructed on safe and pleasant ground. Reform may be painful, but it is what greatness and the future require. We now carry the cost of reaching a future Nigeria where the abundance and fruit of the nation are fairly shared among all, not hoarded by a select and greedy few.
Okay, that is it. The comment from Tinubu. Now, I want to play a video which I've made so that you can compare between the Nigeria of 1960 and the Nigeria people like Tinubu is giving Nigerians today. When you take a look at this video, this is the video of Nigeria in 1st of October 1960. You can see the institutions are well built, The roads are well paved. Even motorcycles, cyclists have their own path. See how organized the whole place is. A country that has food, that households have food, enough food to pound. You know, in the market, foods were affordable to most homes. In October, you go to market to buy stuff, you can buy things. Food for your children, they don't need to go to bed hungry. So that is the Nigeria they enjoyed from the colonial masters. From the British colonial master, this is the Nigeria these guys enjoyed. You can see food crops everywhere. All right? The transportation then is not overlapped with what we have today as having our death trap roads. Our highways are dens of criminals, kidnappers, and all manner of things. One thing kept me laughing, looking at the name of the transport company. Remember that I promised, oh Lord. I wonder the kind of promise these people would have been witnessing, seeing the Nigeria they have today. As we speak, then, Nigerians that enjoy the best of these wonderful system, I would say wonderful compared to the hell we are passing through today. Now, if you fast forward this to the time, look at the police officer. He just looks very much organized, and now look at 63 years experiment afterwards. Let us forward to today. This is the school we have today in our school, meeting youth, having children study in the classroom, so dilapidated and so. This is the Nigeria we have today. This is the kind of context people like Tinubu is giving to the young generation and the current generation of Nigeria. Look at the roads, death trap, unlike what we saw in the past, in the 1960s, where the roads were well paved. So when you look at all of these things, you wonder if Nigeria is worth celebrating any independence. The crop of what we have today as our colonial masters in the name of political leaders, they are the
This is
problem.
a
Now
police
look at
station and
the situation
close to my area.
talking
And
about security.
this is how the citizens are not
Just take a look.
happy. They brought down the station
People are
really,
even
really
happy
bad, and
that
we are
police
happy for that.
stations are burned.
This
Why?
is a good
Because
thing.
they
Yeah,
have
thank
seen
you
the
very
police
much.
officers as even more dreaded than criminals. Just listen to it.
We really
Just
did a good job, a nice
Just see that
job.
all for yourself. That is the current Nigeria that the people like Tinubu gave to Nigerians. So terrible.
This is the current situation of this country.
This is the hospital.
A country where we are treated like animals now. The living condition of mothers who have babies, who have neonates in loose. This is where people sleep. Now they made available a lodge. The lodge is not good enough. The lodge is in terrible and poor state. And as of this morning, mothers were thrown out without prior notice, without anything. So we're going to post this. This is the reason why I want this to go viral as much as possible. Repost, tag anybody you know. It just shows that the common man in Nigeria cannot get good health care. Why then are we spending so much money? Some of us in the past 4 weeks, we spent over ~1 million naira on our babies, and then they throw us out without notice. This is what happens. This is loose. This is the federal government hospital loose.
That is it. You've seen all of that. Very unfortunate. Now, without wasting much time, because I don't intend to keep this interaction for so long, let me bring in Ndubisi immediately. The village economist, the birthday man. Welcome to the program. Good evening, Ndubisi and Enugu. Thanks for joining. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, Chinedu, and good evening to our viewers all over the world.
Happy birthday
Greetings
to you.
to everybody.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, my brother. I've been thanking God for taking me this far, because many have dropped along the way. You agree with me that surviving Buhari 8 years, that I have something to celebrate. I should be awarded certificate of survivor.
Not yet, until we come out of the Shegebanza promise we are in. But we keep surviving
At
anyway.
least I have to thank God for keeping me so far, because Buhari days was horrible.
Okay. All right. Now, how do you feel celebrating this birthday with Nigeria, having the same date, birthday date with Nigeria? Did you celebrate Nigeria independence for the start?
No, of course, Chinedu, there is no way I will celebrate Nigeria. I was telling somebody that it was God design that I came to this world the very day Nigeria secured their independence. God has reason for that. Maybe ever since that time, I've been agitating for good governance in Biafran enclose or Biafran space or Igbo space. So I've been agitating for us to have good governance, for the people occupying our space to have good behavior, good life, for us to build a modern society, different from what we have in Nigeria. So I want to give back to the society, Sorry, I want to leave the society a better place, better than I met it. So there is nothing to celebrate with Nigeria, but I celebrate my life and people around me. That is it. Thank you, Chinedu.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, let us sit down on the nitty-gritty of what we have since the 1st of October. Do you agree that Nigeria was designed to fail? If you do, tell us why. Nubisi. Do you agree with that? Because I believe so much that Nigeria was designed to fail.
Well, from the day one, 1914, when Nigeria was founded by white man Lord Lugard with his girlfriends and not just one person, many of them. Nigeria was founded as a business empire. Nigeria was founded for administrative convenience of those business colonial masters. So it's not like they designed Nigeria to fail, but they designed Nigeria to be their company. Nigeria was and is still their business extension, their company. From 1914 till 1953 to 1950, they have always considered their interests first, their interests first. When they gave Nigeria independence, they didn't mean to have given Nigeria complete independence. They meant to give Nigeria political independence, but because economy was their interest, they still manipulated their way through and have a way of holding forth on economic independence from 1960. So you could see what happened when if you have 10 countries in Africa, I'm not saying we have 10 countries in Africa, but I said if you are making reference to 10 countries in Africa, Nigeria being the 10th. Nigeria being the 10th country, you agree with me that these 9 countries have steady supply of electricity. I can mention them: Ghana, Benin Republic, Niger, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Tunisia, Senegal. These countries, electricity is no longer their issue as at today. Even Benin Republic will supply them. Is Nigeria generate electricity, transmit it to Benin Republic. Benin's job is to distribute within their country. I know that Benin Republic is not more than Anambra State. Their population size is not more than Anambra State. But they were able, or they are able, to manage and give their citizens constant, steady electricity. So that is one of the things used to measure economic performance of any given economic system. So you are saying that Nigeria is designed to fail? Is it those who designed Nigeria that designed Nigeria not to have electricity? No, Chinedu, the answer is no. Or is it those people that designed Nigeria? Even the last election we conducted a few months ago, European Union gave INEC millions of dollars to make sure that election was credible, free, and fair. Is it then that designed that election to be rigged, or people to be terrorized, and some Westerners or Yorubas insisting that if you are not voting for APC, or you are not in support of APC, you should not get close to the polling station? Is it Westerners that created it? Of course, look at the constitution they gave us, Republican Constitution, 1960. They gave us parliamentary system of government. Look at different constitutional conferences these guys organized for us. Look at from 1920, I think 21, 29, 45, you have different, at any stage, at any time, constitutional conferences where they will gather the leaders, the indigenous leaders of different ethnic groups, and ask them their opinion. And at the end of the day, they came up with independence constitution. And that constitution was put together by the leaders of different ethnic groups. These guys recognize the fact that Nigeria as a country has different nations that will be brought together just to serve their purpose. It's not like they hated us so much. They wanted. If you call them names, but at least we have to appreciate what they did. They put together that parliamentary system, 1963 Republican Constitution, that empowers each region in Nigeria to even have their own constitution. Each region has their own constitution. The Eastern Nigeria has their constitution. The Western Nigeria has their own. The Northern has their constitution. Are you saying that the people that designed Nigeria wanted us to fail? Or is it them that caused or organized the first military coup in Nigeria by these guys, Kaduna Nzogo and Ife Ajuna, plus Bullieden and the other ones, Colonel Okafor?
Let me interject. When you talk about designing Nigeria, I think the question is when Nigeria was redesigned. Because designing Nigeria, you can agree with me that the soul of every country is its constitution. That constitution, the 1999 constitution as we have today, the people that designed it to ensure that Nigeria fails. And that is the point I am coming from, or this very assertion that Nigeria was designed to fail. When you compare it with the Nigeria of the then, when you compare it with the Nigeria of the 60s and put it back to back with the Nigeria you have today. In the Nigeria where the economy was thriving, the Nigeria where people were safe to travel without bothering, the Nigeria where the police are friends. Now, 63 years later, after the so-called independence, you have a direct opposite of Nigeria today. The children schooling in a little roof, studying under the rain, dilapidated structures in the streets, whereas these men had the best structure at their time. They enjoy the best structures. They have good roads. But look at the roads today in Nigeria, they are dead trapped. So when we talk about all of these things, you can agree with me that the Constitution of Nigeria enabled the failure of Nigeria as we have today. That is what I'm bringing to the table. What do you think about on it?
Okay, Chinedu, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but to say that Nigeria is designed to fail, or Constitution of Nigeria is designed to fail, may be wrong. To the extent that those who designed Nigeria have something in mind. And what do they have in mind?
You mean the Nigerian Constitution of 1999?
Yeah, I'm talking of 1999. I'm done with the 60s or 70s era. I mean the current constitution, which is 1990. The current dispensation, democratic experience we have now, we started in 1999. Am I communicating?
Go on. You're communicating. Go on.
So what I'm saying is that those who designed that constitution, they borrowed some. In fact, the foundation of 1999 constitution is from 1979. They lifted so many things. It's still the military constitution of 1979, by Obasanjo and his young army officers that packaged it for democratic experience. After 1983, that experiment failed, and back to military administration. So 1999 Constitution wasn't designed to fail, but was designed to serve the interests of few cabal, military, political, business elites.
That's exactly what we're saying now. That's exactly what we're saying. If it is designed to serve the interests of few cabal.
So it's not fair. They didn't design it to fail. Of course, they weren't thinking that the Constitution will fail. What they were thinking is that, in fact, they were selfish, all thinking about themselves. Okay. Just imagine.
We are saying the same thing. I don't know how you are interpreting it. I'm saying that the 1999 Constitution is what brought about the failure of Nigerian system today. It empowered a lot of impunity. That's what we are talking about. Even the electoral laws. You and I knows that with the way Nigeria is being carried on, even the Constitution is so faulty that people are demanding for its overhauling. It is what has empowered. In fact, what we have is not even a constitution that we can say we are operating a democratic, just like you say. It's not like the constitution that we will now say that, oh, we have a republic in the name of Nigeria. It's not the constitution that actually strips different regions of Nigeria or different states of Nigeria from, thriving. Look at security. The breakdown of security is because one man in Abuja is determining what happens throughout the whole federation, whereas he may not even understand the peculiar nature of security challenges in different states or regions. That's why they clamor for this, what do you call it? This regional security outfit. Okay, so when you talk about that, that is exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we are looking at in terms of the failure of Nigeria as a country. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, perfectly all right. What you're saying is in order. Just the difference is that when you're saying that the Nigeria is designed to fail, I'm not saying that these guys that designed Nigeria designed it to serve their interests, and at the end of the day, they designed the constitution for the whole system to fail. Because if a constitution is serving their interests and is not serving the generality of Nigeria and the public interest, of course, it's bound to fail. That is what is happening today.
Exactly.
You know, I wanted to give one example of a general in the army. Like when a serving president, remember a serving general that catapulted himself to power, handed over somebody that used force to take over government, retires. He will retire with about 50 army officers guiding him for life. He will retire with medical doctors, gardeners, all sorts of nonsense. All sorts of nonsense. You look at those generals. Has any of them died? No, because they are using the scarce resources of Nigeria to service their lives. I'm not saying they should die. I don't wish them death, my brother. But I'm only making reference of how it is. Because you have a military man that catapulted himself to power or shoot himself to power. Look at the Babangida. Go and check what he has or how many soldiers guiding him. Go and look at Abubakar. Go and look at Obasanjo and look at how many young military officers guiding him for life till he dies. Even his family, he has all kinds of privileges. And as this thing is happening, all the generals in army are retired. They always have security. They will have all kinds of travel allowance and all the directors in civil service. If you look at what Nigeria as a country, what they're servicing, people who are not unproductive, people who have spent their time destroying the system, not building the system, destroying the system. These are the same people we are using our scarce resources to service. And these people will never die. Because if you want to change their blood, they will go to overseas and change it. If it's kidney problem, they will change their kidney. They will even change their hearts to be alive. How many of them are dying? And if you look at all the civil servants, all the directors, level 16 and level 17, look at all of them that are still alive, eating Nigerian money. Why use? You have 130 million youths jobless. As far as this constitution is still alive, as far as this constitution is still there, Nigeria can never be productive. Or if you like, have P2B. If P2B comes up tomorrow and he doesn't make move, organize the leaders of all these ethnic groups to come together and profile solution on how to handle this fraudulent constitution, he cannot do anything. He will be there just trying to, from consumption to production, 4 years will pass. I'm telling you,
so
you will not do anything. Okay, look at Omaya. Okay, yes. No, I wanted to make reference to David Omaya that assumed position as Minister for Works, even as an engineer. Omaya, for goodness sake, for heaven's sake, is a true Igbo man. He's an ambassador of what Biafran ideology represents. Because he wants to do the right thing. He wants to get it right. He wants to give the country the best. But the people you are giving the best, do they care? Do they appreciate you? Do they want it? In fact, they don't want you. I'm not saying that anything will happen to him, but may God continue to protect him. This man is taking risk, moving around the country. May God protect